like a stone. Are we? Are we really? Jewish people are so weak. And yet we are strong like a stone. How does that work? The word atem, Nitzavim, atem, the word atem means emes. The same letters as emes spells atem. You, emes. The Jewish people have to be emes, truthful. That's our strength. And first and foremost, you have to be truthful to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. The most heinous lie is the lie that you lie to yourself. You know why? Because then you can't face your reality, and you cannot do tshuva, you cannot change. Because you say, I'm great. I don't know what you have to improve. So in America, people get offended if you tell them all about themselves. The great rabbis of the past would have people come to admonish them. Tell me what I do wrong. Tell me. Today, if you dare to tell somebody what they did that was wrong, you're finished. They become angry with you. Is that truth or not? Imagine the rabbis being told by underlings, tell me what I do wrong. They would ask for it. Because they want to improve. How can I improve my character traits? So the first thing is, atem, you are emes. You have to be emes, truth. Atem nitzavim in gematria means you are standing for slichas. This Saturday night we are going to have slichas. 12 midnight. We are going to start actually at 11. I'll have a question and answer period. And then anything you want to know, I'll answer. And then we'll have refreshments. And 12 midnight, we're going to have the midnight service, just a half an hour, but come, because it will open the gates to a new life on Rosh Hashanah. Atem nitzavim, in Gematria means numerology. For example, in numerology, Aleph is not just A, but it's 1. Base is not just B, but it's 2. So when you add up the numbers of the word, you come to different wisdom. Come to different secrets. So atem nitzavim means omdim l'slichas. You're going to stand up to ask forgiveness. We are going to do that this Saturday night. Forgiveness. What's the point? I sinned. Oh, you don't know how I sinned. Oh, God will forgive. Oh, you don't know. I'm a mess. You don't know. How can I ask for forgiveness? If Humpty Dumpty falls, all the king's men and all the king's horses cannot put him together again. Is that true? Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty fell. And all the king's men and all the king's horses couldn't put him together again. So how could we be put together? Is there such a thing as forgiveness? So stand up, Slichas night, and say, Chotosi, I have sinned. So what? Can you change your past? Can you change your past? Is that possible? A man goes to jail. He goes to jail. Now he's out. He wants to get a job, start a new life. He applies for a new job. Fill out this application. Were you ever arrested? Was I ever arrested? Oh my God. If I'm going to tell the truth, I won't get the job. If I'm going to lie, the computer will catch up with me. And the Torah says, confess. Confess. You could start a new life. Is that possible? Even a Humpty Dumpty cannot be put together with all the king's horses and all the king's men. So how can you be put together again? You crashed. You crashed. So what do you do? What's the truth? Now listen carefully. Listen carefully. Humpty Dumpty cannot be put together again. That's true. That's true. The guy in jail can't be put together again. It's true. Wherever he goes, his background will follow him and curse him. And people are mean and rotten. And they don't allow him to forget. People love scandals. So what happened? How's your job? Meanwhile, he knows that you were fired. And go over to him. By the way, how's your job going? And the guy knows just a few days ago you were fired. Can you imagine the meanness of that? Just a few weeks ago you broke up with your girlfriend or with your wife. You got a divorce. So how's your marriage going? How's your wife? People are mean. They have to be trained to be good and kind. It's not automatic. That's why we do not have Yetzirah, we don't have good inclination till we are bar or bas mitzvah. Children have to be trained. Open your hand, give, share. When you see little one at top, you say, can I have a cookie? Do you need his cookie? No, but you want to train him to share and to give. Say thank you. Do you need his thank you? No, but he has to learn to say thank you. Make a bracha. Do you need his bracha? Does Hashem need your bracha? No, but your soul needs it. You need it for your neshama to train your soul. So in this world, it's tough. They won't allow you to forget. The world is mean. The world is not mean. People are mean. When children are very small, everyone thinks, oh, isn't he cute? He just kicked you. Isn't that cute? He bites. Isn't that cute? Now he's 16. He's still biting. Now it's not cute anymore, is it? But you cannot stop it. Now he says, shut up. Get off my back. I've had it. I'm getting out of this crazy house. Sounds familiar? Sounds familiar? But the Torah says, Atem omdim l'slichas, you want to be Nitzavim, strong like a rock. Stand up and make slichas, ask for forgiveness. What is that? Imagine this. A man goes to a court. He's indicted. He's taken in front of the judge. Do you swear to tell the truth? So help you God, which we are not permitted to do. We have to say, I affirm. We don't swear, but there you are. So you confess. You're an honest guy. You confess. Say, Your Honor, I'm so sorry. Forgive me, but I did such and such. I did such and such. Forgive me. Well, what happens to you in that court? The judge will say, take him away. 10 years. Just confessed. Go to God. Rosh Hashanah, Slichas night. Forgive me, God, I'm so sorry. I did this, I did that, I did this and that. Come home, my child. We have a teaching, Im yesh din lamato ein din lamalo, which means if there is a judgment on this earth, there's no judgment above. You come clean over here, and above they forgive you. Now I told you many times that the Hebrew language is definitive. Each word has its own teaching. You don't even have to study, just listen to the words. How do you say sin in Hebrew? By the way, we the Jewish people do not recognize sin. Well, how do you say sin? You say chet, that's one word. Chet means, literally, to miss the mark. You missed the mark, you just didn't get it. It's not that you're a despicable person, that you sin. You missed the mark. You missed the purpose of your life. Do you understand this? You have another word for sin, avera. You heard of these words? Avera means, literally, ovar. It passed. It passed. It happened yesterday. What are you dwelling on it? Don't get crazy from it. It passed. Avar. It passed. We have another one, avon. That's a serious sin. The word avon also spells the word onov, which means humble. You become humble for your sins. You sinned and you become humble from that. How can you judge others? Now you have humility. I sinned, I did something wrong. I cannot judge someone else. I cannot judge someone else. Do you understand this? Then you have the worst sin. That's pesha. You know what pesha really means? Turn the letters around. Shefa. Shefa means abundance of wealth. For my sins, I can become very wealthy, because if I learn from it, I become a different person. I could change my life. Learn from it. Learn from it. Learn from it. So that is why. That is why. And Rosh Hashanah, we stand for slichas. We are strong. We heard the terrible prophecies what will happen to us Jews, but we'll survive it. Are you talking to me? Look at me. I tell you this all the time. You're learning from me. Who am I? Bat Yisrael, daughter of the Jewish people. I was in the concentration camps. And I'm here. I rose from the ashes. I'm here. We survive. I told you on one of the occasions when I came back from Israel that I spoke at this orphanage in Jerusalem. Little boys from 6 to 13. I said to them, you know who you are? You know who I am? Among the many other things I said. You are Superman. And they look at me. And you know who I am? I'm Super Lady. I spoke in Hebrew. I explained to them. No one can hurt you and no one can hurt me, because Obinu Shebashaim, our Father in heaven, is watching us. And all those who want to destroy us, they cannot. They cannot. We are Jews. Slichas, forgiveness, God is ready. You are the one who must be ready. God is ready, but you must be ready. Don't kvetch. Don't kvetch is, it's a Yiddish word. You can't translate it. And don't make excuses for yourself. Don't scapegoat. Oh, you know what my therapist said, And there are people who do that. They all their lives, they cry on the couch. I can't get a job. I had a man 65 who came to me. I can't go to work. I said, why? You know, my childhood Rebbetzin, you know what I went through when I was just a little girl, a little boy? Ava, it's past. Get your head together. Get your emotions. Don't be a fool. Don't waste your life. Get on with it. You're a Jew. You are standing for slichas. Now, it says over here, to enter the covenant. Moshe Rabbeinu gathers us to enter yet another covenant. What? We stood at Mount Sinai. Why another covenant? We made a covenant at Mount Sinai. And it says, Kol Yisrael, all of the Jewish people were there. Kulchem, all of you. Kol Yisrael, Kulchem, every Jew was there. But we know that every Jew stood at Mount Sinai. What is the purpose of this? And what is the purpose of saying Kulchem, all of you, and then enumerating everyone? You had a few tribes, your police, your elders, your children, your wives, your Gerim, your strangers, your converts, and the wood chopper, and the water carrier. What's the purpose of this? We know everybody. So listen carefully. This is the second covenant, which will answer all your questions. This is the covenant of Arevus. What Arevus means? Mutual responsibility. Mutual responsibility. I am responsible for you, and you are responsible for me. And it doesn't just go to the rabbis, the Rebbetzins. No. Everyone. The water carrier, the wood chopper, the elders, the rabbis, the heads of the tribes, the princes. Everyone is responsible for the other. So people ask very often, Rebbetzin, where was God during the Holocaust? Now the people who ask this question were never there. Those of us who were there didn't ask. It's amazing. We knew God was there, because if not for God, we wouldn't be here today. Do you think I would be here today if God wouldn't have been watching me and saved me? Do you know what would happen in the concentration camps? The transports arrived, the cattle cars came, and children were given wonderful sleeping quarters, the gas chambers, immediately. So it's God who came to save us. Who saved us? The Allies? You must be joking. We asked the Allies, including the United States, to allow us to come over here. And the message came back. The United States, America, locked its gate. And we had to be taken back. We're taken back to Nazi Europe. And Hitler said, okay, now I have the green light. Nobody's going to give a damn, and no one did. We tried. We sent emissaries. Do you know I come from Hungary? You know that. Hungary was the last country to be invaded. At the end of the war, Eichmann wanted to make a deal. He needed money, called in the head of the Jewish community, and gave papers to a man by the name of Joel Brand to go to Turkey, to contact the Allies, to buy the Jews. We had hundreds of thousands of Jews in Hungary. Buy them. He went to Turkey, had papers, contacted London and Washington. Guess what the answer was? We are in a war. We are not interested in Jews. So who saved us? You tell me who saved us, if not for God. What's the matter with you? Won't you get it? So now we are responsible for each other, and you are going to tell me that this religious Jew, he was killed also. How come? We are responsible for each other. If you don't keep Shabbos, that's my problem. If I don't keep Shabbos, that's your problem. We are a nation responsible. So if you mess up your life, I am responsible. If I mess up my life, you are responsible. In our culture, we have a sickness. It's none of my business. Parents, grandparents, I can't get involved. Let them do what they want. As long as they're happy, that's all that counts. So you go off to, parents go off to Florida, to here, to there. Grandparents go off. The kids, well, listen, they have to make their own lives. Yes or no? Is this America or not? I'm not going to get sick over them. Is that true or not? So we are responsible for each other. That's the new covenant. Now listen carefully, this is your life. And this is so important. It will open your eyes. Now if you're going to say to me, what is this responsibility? Now listen carefully. Hashem, you are going to be entering the covenant of God, also and into his curses, the covenant of curses. Can you imagine? The Jewish people have a covenant of curses that God is making with you today. A covenant of curses? Can that be? Who would want to enter a covenant of curses? Aha. John, Mary, Kathy want to become like non-Jews. They assimilate. There's nothing Jewish about them. They go to the club, they are with the WASP, whatever it is. Nothing Jewish about them. They change their names. There's no Maishi. There's no David. They're not, there's nothing Jewish about them. So guess what will happen? God takes out an ad in the local paper. Anti-Semites wanted to remind my children that they are Jews. So this guy who just assimilated, hey, you Jew boy. It's a funny thing. A guy could be totally assimilated, but someone will say, you know what, he's Jewish. They never allow you to forget it. If not for the curse, people would assimilate and disappear. because we look like everybody else. It's easy to hide. We are not yellow, we are not black, we are not red, we are not pink. We look like everybody else. We could be absorbed. No one knows. So that's the curse. Amazingly, listen carefully and think about it. Throughout our history, we always had an option given by our enemies. Convert or be killed. Spanish Inquisition all the time. Now, Hitler couldn't care less whether we converted or not. If you had 1 ounce of Jewish blood in you by your great-grandmother, and could go to church every day and be baptized, he couldn't care less. Wanted a pure race of Aryans. No Jewish blood anywhere. Jews were living, marrying non-Jews. He makes an edict. Any German who lives, who has a relationship with a non-Jew, is killed. Jews gave up their Jewish names. He makes an edict at the Nuremberg laws. Any Jew who does not have a Jewish name is going to be called henceforth, all males, Israel. So if your name is Oscar Friedman, your name is going to be Oscar Israel Friedman. Any girl is going to be called Sarah. His name is Eva Friedman, going to be called Eva Sarah Friedman. Do you understand this? Hitler has to remind us of our Jewish names. So Hashem says, that's the curse, you can't get away. You can't escape. You could change your nose, you could change your name. Doesn't matter. God will always find you. So you might as well understand this. God still the covenant with you that you are to be Jews forever. You can never, never, never alter that. Now there is someone over here who says, well, Rebbetzin, come on. This happened thousands of years ago. It has no application to us today. It has no relevance. What's the matter with you, Rebbetzin? Are you going to have me believe all this? Thousands of years ago. It's not for today, please. So let me show you, read with me. Or you don't have to read with me, I will read it. Roman Hokim Alechu. And that this is done because God wants to establish with you. Hokim also Hayom today, La'om, that you are going to be His nation, V'yelocho La'akim, and God is going to be your God. Kasher Dibeloch, as He spoke to you at Mount Sinai, and as He swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now listen to this. V'lo eschem levatchem, not only with you, Moshe Rabbeinu is talking to the people of his generation. V'lo eschem levatchem, not only with you. Onochi koresas abris. God says, I make this covenant. But, Vesa Olo Hazos, and this curse, Ki es asher yeshno po, but with those who are here, yes, imoni with us, Omid who are standing hayom before God, Ves asher einenu po, and all those who are not here will be born in the future. So the covenant was made with every Jew for all eternity. For all eternity. Do you know how many times I meet somebody who's not Jewish? And something is Jewish about him, and we trace his blood, we trace his roots, we trace his background. Turns out that he comes from Jewish blood. I spoke in Panama. Listen to this. The vice president of the country, his wife read my book, The Committed Marriage. She wanted to speak to me. She, with her entourage, came to the hotel where I stayed. She wanted to have some counsel, some guidance on some things. And she came with a reporter. So the reporter says to me, she looked up my background, she Googled me, and she sees that I combat, I fight the spiritual Holocaust. What is a spiritual Holocaust, she asked me. And I don't know why, instead of responding to her question, I said, what is your name? Which is really ridiculous. She asked me a question, why am I asking her name? What is your name? And she says, Esther. I said, Esther? That's a Jewish name. Are you Jewish? No, I'm Catholic. How did you get the name Esther? I don't know. Is your mother Jewish? No. Is your grandmother Jewish? No. Can you remember what your grandmother did, how she lived? Well, she had a candlestick, 2 candlesticks in her house, which she said her mother gave her. And, like once a week she would like to kindle those candlesticks, because she learned it from her mother. The grandmother learned it from her mother. Do you understand this? So now she meets me, and now she's turning around. The Jewish neshama can never be lost. Never be lost. You have to trace your roots. If just one drop of Jewish blood is in you, somehow, somewhere, someplace, something touches your heart. And you remind yourself, God has strange ways of bringing you back. You know my books. And very often I sign my book, The Jewish People Need You. Usually I sign books where I see that the young man, the young girl is somehow disconnected. Sign the book, The Jewish People Need You. Listen to this. A young man, a hippie, goes to Bangkok and he needs money. So he goes into a bookshop. Not a Jewish, there's nothing Jewish there. He goes into a bookshop. He needs money, but he doesn't have. So he figures, at least let me buy a book to keep me occupied. So he asks for an English book that's interesting. So they gave him a book. The one who is the salesperson doesn't know what that book is all about. So the young man says, what is this book about? So she says, I don't know, but someone came, an American student came, and he needed money, so he gave me the book, and he asked for a few dollars, not dollars, he asked for a little money for it. So we did it. And he opened the book, and the book said, The Jewish People Need You. Signed, Esther Young Grace. Comes back to New York, he reads the book, comes back to New York, and comes here to Hineni. Do you see how God finds us? Go to Bangkok. You go into a shop. The other kid had to hack his book. He didn't have money to sign, The Jewish People Need You. Do you understand this? The jigsaw puzzle, that for every morning when we daven, when we pray, we say, Hamechi Mitzadei Gover, is God who arranges our footsteps. So God spoke to us for all eternity. Hayom, for you today, the Torah that is being made, what is being taught, is for you today who are standing here today. You can't get lost. If you want to get lost, you know what happens to you? The curse. Somebody will remind you. Something will bring you back. Now, listen carefully. And this is very important. We, the Jewish people, stood at Mount Sinai. All of us. So how on earth did we get lost? What makes a person assimilated? How does it happen? You guys are here. So Baruch Hashem, some less, some more, you are making your journey back to God. But how did it start? How did your grandfathers lose it? How? Or your parents? How does it start? Most of you come from non-observant homes. True or not? And if most of you do come from observant homes, then maybe you got lost. Or something happened, because we live in a crazy world. But how come you are not anchored to the Jewish people? How come? Do you understand this? How come? But what happened? When did the cord break? When did the cord dissolve? How did you lose it? So listen, it tells you, and listen to it carefully, should never happen to you. I'm on sentence 17. Perhaps there's amongst you a man, or Isha, or woman, or Mishpoch, or a family, or Shevet, an entire tribe, whose heart turns against God today. Now Echis, Lavod es Elokehu Hagoyim Hohem, to go and worship the gods of others. Perhaps there is a man, a woman, a family, a tribe, who decides that we want to go and be involved with the nations of the world. We want to be like the others. How does it happen? The word pen, that's what's responsible. Pen. What's pen? Perhaps. Perhaps. I don't know if God really spoke to the Jewish people. I mean, perhaps. I mean, I am a good Jew, but pen, perhaps. You know, I like Jewish music, I like Jewish dinners, I go to a Seder. But whether God really spoke and said these things, pen, maybe. Doesn't say it's wrong. Doesn't say it's a lie. It's ridiculous. It's a whole hoax. Doesn't say that. Just says pen, maybe. Maybe. When you go to college, you learn very quickly humanism. Pen, maybe. Maybe Judaism has the truth, maybe. For maybe you don't give your life. For maybe you don't sacrifice. If it would be a maybe I won't eat kosher, why shouldn't I eat good seafood? Or cheeseburgers, why not? For pen? For maybe? For maybe I wouldn't give up many things. Why should I give up going in a car on Saturday? Why should I give up going shopping on Saturday? Or playing sports? Or doing whatever everybody else does? Oh, if it's pen, you give it up. Maybe. Maybe. The word pen is very dangerous when you say maybe. We, the Jewish people, I, a Bat Yisrael, daughter of the Jewish people, do not believe in God. You know what I am? You know what I do? I know there is a God. It's not a belief. I know. When you go to court and you are cross-examined by the prosecutor, and he says, do you know da-da-da-da? And you say, I believe it to be true, Your Honor. You believe it, the prosecuting attorney says? He believes it, Your Honor. He doesn't know, but he believes it. He doesn't know. He made his point. We, the Jewish people, we don't believe. We know. We know. We are not pen people. No one says perhaps. In the United States, we go to universities and we learn this word pen. There's nothing obsolete. There is no darkness. There is no light. Everything is gray. There's no blessing. There is no curse. It's what you want to do. There is no right, there is no wrong, it's only happy. If you make it, if you're happy with it, so what? That's all that counts. Whatever you want, whatever you want. Do you understand this? It comes from the word pen. Sephardic Jews, I don't know, today of course it's not valid, but in their countries, Iraqi Jews, Syrian Jews, in their countries, when they lived there, never went to college. You know why? Because the Muslims did not permit them, and the Muslims themselves didn't go to college. They were concealed in their ghettos. They were kept in their ghettos. There was no mixing. So they never had a pen. Sephardic Jews who came from these countries, if you go to their shul, to their synagogue, when the rabbi walks in, they stand up, kavod, they kiss the hands. They give honor. There's no pen. There's no question mark. This is it, no question. Today it's different because everybody's going to university and we learn the word pen. Maybe. Maybe is the truth. So what happens once you start with maybe? First you start with a man. There's a man in the family who says maybe. It's like an infectious disease. Others catch it. Daddy said maybe. Grandpa said maybe. The whole thing is a hoax. A mother, a woman starts, pen maybe. Mommy said maybe. The whole thing is a hoax. Mishpocha now spreads to the entire family, to the cousins, everybody, because the pen is picked up by everyone. Everybody's saying, maybe it's true, maybe it's not, what do I know? And then the Shevet, the entire community is infected. You'd be surprised how this goes. The entire community could be infected. I have seen it. A neighborhood, a community, just one man, one woman, one family. The infection spreads. That's why religious Jews like to live in religious neighborhoods. Don't want their children to catch the infectious disease or pen. But, this is the big but. It goes to a woman, a man, a family, a community, but it stops by the community. It never says the nation, because the nation, Am Yisrael, is here, L'olam va'ed, forever and ever and ever. The Jewish people will exist forever and ever. You know how many Jews we have today in the world? In the entire world? 13 million. You know what that is? It's a tragedy. We should be billions. 13 million. You know why? Because of pen. Not Hitler. Hitler's, they come and they go. But pen, assimilation, intermarriage, why do you suppose there's no population growth in the United States? No population growth amongst Jews. Intermarriage. It all comes from pen. So listen to this now, and it will blow your minds away. It's so amazing. It speaks to our generation. Now it goes through, I'm not going to stop there because we have too much. So I'm just going to go here. Listen to this. Told you this is the parsha, this is the portion of 9/11. On 9/11, everything was 11. I don't have time to go through this, but on 9/11, everything was 11. Everything. The flight numbers and everything that was involved with 9/11 was number 11. And the passengers and the crew members, everything was 11. If you read my book, Life is a Test, there's an entire chapter on that, and you'll pick it up. Everything 11. God speaks to us. Does anybody get it? Anybody? Does anybody stop to think? Everything is 11. How do you explain it? And in this parsha, if everything is 11 and it occurred on this parsha, there has to be 11 in this parsha also, no? So look at this. There's a very incredible passage here. It says that God says to us, that, okay, wait a second. 1 second, I just lost the page. That it says, the hidden things belongs to God, and the revealed things belong to us. The hidden things belong to God, and the revealed things belong to us. Meaning, we have to understand certain things we do not know. It's hidden from us. But Hashem gives us enough revealed things that we should stop to think. Do you stop to think? Do you? Certain things that are hidden, God doesn't want you to know. Like, for example, you are not permitted, you can't go backwards what happened at the creation of the world because you cannot know. It's always a waste of time. You're just supposing. It's a waste of time. But the truth, the Nicholas God made certain truths that are available to us, belongs to us. So you have to think, what happened on 9/11? On this word, Nicholas, Lono, Veneno, are 11 dots in the Torah. 11 dots. 9/11. So much so that 9/11 has become a word even in the secular English language. There's an emergency. What do? Call 9/11, right? Somebody has a crisis in business. He goes bankrupt. What do you call it? He went chapter 11. 11 is always emergency. We have a very powerful prayer in the Torah. It's called Ketoras, the incense. The incense was the most powerful offering in the Holy Temple. We say it every single day in our prayers. You know how many parts it had? 11 parts. That was there for atonement. Everything is 11, but we don't get it. We don't want to get it. This is 9/11. Who davened for the Jewish people all the time? Who continues to daven for the Jewish people? Who cries for the Jewish people? Bocher Imenu. Our mother Rachel, when did she die? On the 11th day of Cheshvan. Who is going to be the one to make the path for Mashiach? Right before Mashiach comes, who's going to make the path? Yosef HaTzadik. He was the 11th son of Jacob. Everything is 11. I could ask you, and please, if you're interested, pick up my book. Life is a Test, an entire chapter on all the 11s. It's amazing. But we don't forget. We want to forget. We want to forget. It's not that we don't forget. We want to forget. Just the opposite. We want to forget. So now we continue. And now listen to this very, very carefully. From that pen, something else comes. Penich bochem shoresh porebosh v'la'ano. Perhaps there is amongst you a string or a wormwood that thrives and becomes very wormy. Comes from a string like a little snake. And when that person is like a string who sees that worm, says, and he hears these curses, what he's going to say, ridiculous. But seriously, I'm going to just follow the inclination of my heart. I'm not going to believe on this. As long as I'm happy, I'll do what I want. Don't be ridiculous. And he's going to say, Shalom Yeli, I'm going to have peace. I don't listen to all this stuff. I don't need God. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ki b'shvirus libi elech, I'm going to follow the inclination of my own heart. Sofos hovo at chatzmio. He's going to add, he's going to add more water to his water. It's very difficult to translate, but it means that he's going to indulge himself more. A drunkard, for example, the more he drinks, the more he wants. Any physical desire, the more you indulge it, the more it takes a possession of you. The more you indulge your physical desires, the more it possesses you. You become a victim. You start taking drugs, or suddenly become a junkie. You start drinking, you become an alcoholic. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, friends? This is the tragedy. So how does it happen? A wormwood. It's a tiny little thing. It creeps in like a worm. If there's a worm over here, would you see it? No. A tiny little worm. You don't see it. Once I ordered a salad from a very kosher restaurant, and I was about to put my fork into the salad. I'm not exaggerating this. And on the lettuce, I thought I saw something moving. It was a little green worm. A green worm, just like the salad, just like the lettuce. You don't see a worm. If a little worm would be creeping in here right now, you wouldn't see it. You wouldn't see it. But if a lion would come in here, call the police. You know where to hide. So sin starts like a little wormwood. It just creeps into your neshama, into your being. You don't notice it. It's just a little worm. Starts with a little bad habit, just a little thing. Just one little party, just one little drink, just one little, this whatever. I'll give you an example. Here is a guy. His name is Mike. He's an alcoholic. He drinks in his bar every single day. in his neighborhood. So he goes into the bar, and he says to the bartender, John, give me my usual, scotch or whatever, scotch on the rocks, whatever it is. And John says, okay. Well, one day, he gets sick. He goes to the doctor. Doctor says, Mike, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you don't have too much time left. You better get yourself straight. You can't keep on drinking, your liver is going. Your liver is almost gone. Gets scared, he's all white. Goes home. Honey, I'm going to give up drinking. Wonderful, Mike. So proud of you. Honey, I want you to get rid of all the liquor in the house. Oh, my pleasure. I'm not going to drink anymore. And if you see me drinking, throw me out. He goes to John, the bartender. John, if I come in here and ask for liquor, I ask for a scotch on the rocks, throw me out, don't give it to me. Proud of you. Shake hands. For 2 days, he's doing good, but he's suffering. He can't take it. And the third day, he says, I just need one little drink. So he looks around in the house, there's no drink. He says to his wife, where are my scotches? Where's my vodka? The wife says, honey, you told me I should get rid of it. That was yesterday, not today. Where is it? Honey, you told me I should throw you out if you go. Leave me alone, I'm an adult, I'll make my own decisions, okay? Honey, remember what the doctor said? I told you, get off my back, I'm an adult, I'll make my own decisions. He slams the door, goes to the bar. John, give me a drink, my usual. Mike, you told me that if you ever come in this place and you want to drink, I should throw you out. That was yesterday. I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions. Yesterday I said that, but today I changed my mind. Give me that drink. What do you think? Should John give him the drink? Should he? But if he's an American, he gives him the drink. It's business. It's none of his business he wants to drink. He wants to make money. Pay for the scotch. You are not here to tell somebody else what to do. That's the American credo. I cannot tell you what to do. You want to mess up? Mess up. This person wants to, do crazy things. Let him do crazy things. I cannot stop him. So now this guy who starts with a little wormwood, that little worm just gets into his stomach, into his heart, into his soul, into his mind. This little worm becomes an animal that takes over, that is out of control. So Mike wants to come back, he wants to go dry, he wants to give up the liquor. He can't. He's a victim. So it starts with a little worm, and then it absorbs you, it consumes you. Be very careful, little worm. So how do you get rid of it? But before I tell you how you get rid of it, it says over here, if that man doesn't do tshuva, doesn't do repentance, he's going to be wiped off from the face of the earth. I'm going to wipe off his name. What does that mean? Would God kill his people for that? No. His name would be wiped off. What does that mean? When you want to curse somebody in Hebrew, in the Holy Tongue, you know what you say? You machshemo. His name should be erased. That's the worst quote. Hitler, you machshemo. Haman, you machshemo. Ahmadinejad, you machshemo. Could go on and on. There are many of them. But what does that mean? You machshemo. The name of a person is his identity. Your Jewish name. That's you. The name for a soul is what? How do you call soul in Hebrew? Neshama, right? Neshama, the middle letters in neshama, the root of the word neshama is shem, name. Your Jewish name is your neshama, your identity. That is why our sages teach us that the merit of the fact that our Jewish people never changed their names in Egypt, in that merit, Hashem saved them. Your Jewish name is you. Today I go on college campuses and I ask, what is your Jewish name? 99% of our students do not know. Do you understand this? I don't know. Ask your mom, she doesn't know. People die. I ask, what is the name of your husband, your wife, whoever passed away? They don't know. They don't know. Your name. So the person who creates the sin, his name is wiped off. Not that God does it. He does it to himself. His mission is lost. His purpose is lost. His life is naught. He lives for naught. His name is wiped off. So what do? How do you bring him back? Now, this you have to see, but you don't see it. So trust me, I'm reading it. This word, that this wormwood will flourish, is written, Shoresh Poverosh B'la'ono. The letters of these words, a wormwood, which just becomes, consumes you, spells shofar. The shofar can heal you and bring you back. How does that work? You have to listen to the shofar. Pesach, it's matzahs. The essence of Rosh Hashanah is shofar. If you don't listen to all the sounds of the shofar, you missed Rosh Hashanah. So what does it mean? Shofar. How do you sound the shofar? Tekiyo, a straight sound. Shevorim, a broken sound. Teruo, crying, tu-tu-tu-tu-tu-tu. Tekiyo godoilo, a great long strand. What does it mean? You are born. You are pure. Tekiyo, coming to the world with the sound of the shofar. God is sending you with a message, with a purpose, with a goal. You have to achieve something. It's Tekiyo, you are entering this world. Shevorim, it's broken, you mess up your message, you mess up your mission, you mess up your purpose. You are broken. Somehow, someplace, you come to a class, you come to a service, and something clicks in your brain, something clicks in your heart, and suddenly you realize it. I broke the covenant. And what do? Teru means crying, tu. You regret it, you are crying. But the word crying, teru, also means ra'ayati, my beloved one, my friend. In our crying, Hashem becomes our friend. Then comes Tekiyo Godalo, it's starting to cleanse. You are pure again. It's a long, long sound of purity. You have come home. Shofar. Do you understand all this? So I know I have to stop, but I just want you to know the rest of this parsha predicts our entire situation today, predicts what will happen at the end of days. We are living it today. God is going to bring back the Jewish people in the land of Israel. That's how it will start. And then God will bring us back from all the ends of the heavens. It says first is the ends of the earth, where we were dispersed, where we were scattered. And then from the ends of the heavens, meaning what? From the ends of the earth, you saw it already. Jews came back to the land of Israel from every corner of the earth. Yes or no? You have seen it with your own eyes, but you don't get it. It's incredible. From countries where I didn't even know Jews existed, they all made their way back to Israel, and they are going. But from the ends of the earth, of the heavens, that's something else. That means those who got lost in assimilation, in other religions, in cults, in this, in that. God brings them back. And then all the children will come back. People who have a broken heart will realize, oh my God. They'll come back. God is going to come with us. It's all part of the Torah. And God says, don't be afraid. This mitzvah is not too difficult for you. It's not too far from you. You don't have to go up to heaven to find it. It's here. It's in your heart. It's on your lips. Just start speaking to God. It's in your heart. You don't have to cross oceans. It's in your heart. Just bring up the program from your heart. Bring it up. Take your mass and Google it. It will come up. And it will go on your lips. And you will come home. There will be an Achrit Hayamim at the end of days, and we are living it today. But we are blind. We see but we do not see. We hear but we do not hear. We don't get it. So listen to me, my beautiful children. I want to wish each and every one of you Ketiva v'chatima tova, a blessed new year. You should all be inscribed in God's book of life. A blessed, blessed new year. Those who need good health, those who need parnasa, sustenance, those who need children, those who need a soulmate, those who need peace of mind, those who do not know what the purpose of their lives are. This is the time to pray for it. I would like to extend an invitation to each and every one of you to join us for Rosh Hashanah. We have the most wonderful services. We welcome you with an open arm, with an open hand. We welcome you with love. We are going to be at the Essex House. That's right across the street from Central Park. You're all welcome, all of you. And we are going to have a beautiful Yontif together. And for Tashlich, we will go to Central Park. It's a wonderful experience. So if you really would like to have a Rosh Hashanah that will change your heart, that will elevate you, inspire you, join us. And be delighted to have you. I'm going to be there, and the rabbis from Hineni will be there. And it's going to be very, very powerful. That will change your life. This Saturday night, it's Motzei Shabbat. We have Slichas services. Please join us. We gather at 11 o'clock. If you have any questions, I will answer. And I'll be delighted to respond to any question. Just think about it from now till Saturday night, what you would like to know about Judaism. Okay? Let me leave you with a bracha. Yevarechechu Adonai v'yishmerechu, Yilu Adonai ponu v'lecho v'yichonechu, Yisu Adonai ponu v'lecho v'yisem lecho shalom. Hashem should bless you with the choicest blessings. Should write all of us, inscribe all of us, the book of life. Chaim Tovim, in the book of good life. No one should fail from us. We should be able to be together next year in Yerushalayim, in Jerusalem, and welcome Mashiach Tzidkenu. I love you all, and gentlemen, please stay for Minyan. We have delicious refreshments downstairs, and those who have appointments with me, please speak to Phyllis at the desk.